looks like we're good. Alright, let's go. Start streaming. Boom! Alright, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another live stream. Hopefully, it is working. It is another typical Water Change Wednesday live stream here on the channel, and I'm going to cross my fingers that it's working. We got some people here on Instagram that are heading on over to the YouTube, I see. And okay, it looks good. Alright, so I spent like the last 5 minutes trying to tweak the black bars that we had in the last video. Also, if this stream gets glitchy, hopefully it doesn't, but last time we tried to stream, we had some internet connection issues, and that's because I was connecting to an old router that I had. Now I have a different router, and it seems to be working good. It looks like we have full internet connection. So, what's going on, guys? We are back in the room here, and we have this tank right here, which you can see is still wrapped up. And if you remember correctly, this is the mossball tank right here, and it's broken. So we're going to go into that in just a few moments. We're going to see if everybody watching this on YouTube could let me know how it's going. Is it looking good? My first, I don't know. I'm waiting for him. He's on Insta. What's up, Katie? OG Fish Room, what's going on? Sup, Brody? How you been? Pretty good, thank you. Working good so far. All right, so I guess we're good. I'm gonna take a bite out of my rice and beans here because this is my dinner. All right, cool. We have people going in here. So yeah, so this tank behind me, it shattered. As you can hear the glass wiggle. I actually have to get in here, take out the plants, take out the rock, take out the substrate. I'm gonna have a new tank coming hopefully like sometime next week. I'm gonna see if I could actually get them to ship it out this week, so then Wednesday when I'm off, because it's 4th of July, for my normal job, then I can do that one, redo it, because it sucks that it broke. But the main reason why it broke, so the way we basically wrap these things for Reefapalooza, if you don't know, we went to Reefapalooza this past weekend. It was really cool. A lot of people came out and saw us. We had a booth selling plants, driftwood, rocks, a bunch of stuff. But we wrapped up 5 of the tanks that are in the fish room, some of which you haven't seen yet. Is it good? I don't know if it like did a little, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So we wrapped them all up with saran wrap. We stuffed the insides with bubble wrap, and we removed as much water as possible. And then we sealed them up top. And then we moved them stands and all at the same time. What happened with this one? I think there is a loose rock here in the front that I didn't take into consideration. So I didn't stuff enough bubble wrap all the way down. And then we hit a bump when we were in the parking lot of the convention, and I think that rock flew towards the glass, because you can see right here there's like an impact. You probably can't see it on camera, but there's like an impact hole right here, and then all the glass splinters out from there. So that leads me to believe that it was a single impact on this front pane of glass from one of the rocks, and it just shattered the whole front pane. So what's good is that this is the like a 30 centimeter tank, so it's really inexpensive. I think it is like 40 or 50 bucks, something like that. So it's not gonna cost me a lot of money to replace. It just sucks because like it was one of the best looking tanks, and it broke on our way there. And I really wanted to bring it and showcase it, but in a way it kind of worked out because our booth was I wouldn't say it's smaller than what we had anticipated, because it was the right size. I thought it was going to be bigger in my mind, and we wouldn't have had a room for it anyway. So it would have been one of those. I probably would have pawned it off to maybe one of the other vendors and see if they wanted to use it at their booth or something. Yeah, in any case, we're going to fix it. I'm going to try to transplate the aquascape that we had originally, which was the mossball tank. We'll see how it does. If it doesn't, we'll redo it and do something different. And then also on YouTube, you can see, I think, let's see, right here. This one, which you guys haven't seen yet, and you can see part of it. But this whole tank This one and actually the other long one that I have over here that you guys haven't seen yet. The glass didn't break, but the hardscape did suffer a little breakage here and there. So we have to kind of redo those scapes a bit. And for this big one, I actually, we're going to completely redo it, but we're also going to add in something we didn't initially plan on. And that's just because I saw it at the convention and really like the idea of it. And then there is one tank behind me here, but that has yet to be revealed, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. So we got some questions coming in here on YouTube and on Instagram. Let's somebody asked, does the beard interfere with your sleep? No, it doesn't. It's just a little dry right now, so I just got to get in the shower and rinse it out. I'm going to do that after the stream. And just, you know, I got specifically moisturizing beard shampoo, so that way it keeps the beard nice and fresh. But yeah, so, oh no, broken tank. Yeah, Haley. Unfortunately. But, I mean, it's good because, it's, like, this cube tank over here was a lot bigger and would have cost more, and same thing with the long tank. So if it had to be any tank, one of these I would have been okay with, and it was one of them. So that's completely okay with me. So let's see. What's up, Justin? Didn't get to meet you at Reefapalooza, but stopped by the booth, bought some plants, chatted with Kevin, and told your wife to keep giving you hell. Well, thank you, Nelson. I'm sorry that I didn't get to shake your hand and say hi. You should have came back, though. I mean, so all day Saturday up until probably like 3, we were slammed. We had a line at our booth, which was insane. So Reefapalooza is it's a convention where it's primarily corals and saltwater stuff and other manufacturers like Kessel and Fluval and all these other big name companies were there representing. But the whatchamacallit, what was I saying? Oh, so it's primarily all saltwater. We were one of 2 freshwater vendors, and the other freshwater vendor was actually a local fish store to the area, and they didn't really have, well, at least from what I saw in their booth, they didn't have nearly as much as we had laid out. So we had it definitely going pretty good. I posted a picture on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. You could see what our booth looked like. We had kind of the grab and go rack, so you were able to just like kind of walk up, see the plant already bagged up, you could pick it off, kind of like Chinese fish markets, how they do it. In China and other Asian countries, they have everything pre-bagged and you could just walk up and take it. It worked out really good because especially on Saturday, that initial, like, we had a line for like 5 hours. What was it? It was probably 11 to 3 probably, so that was 4 hours. So we had 4 hours of just non-stop, like one after another, people just coming into the booth. We had lines at some point, and it was just slammed. And having that grab and go was like so essential because people could walk up and be like, okay, I want this, this, and this, and we didn't have to pre-bag, or we didn't have to bag as people bought. Downside to that is whatever we had left over, we actually had to put away last night. So there was quite a, I mean, we sold a good amount. I think we sold probably about 75% of what we brought as far as plant goes. We're going to do it a little bit differently for Aquatic Experience. So if you're not familiar, Aquatic Experience is a similar convention. We went last year to Chicago, but now it's in New York this year, which is perfect because we're only about 15, 20 minutes away. And we're going to, right now I'm trying to get actually a bigger booth because the one booth that we had, that's a 10 by 10 booth, just was a little too small, and I feel like we could do a lot more if we had double, like 2 booths next to each other. So that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to do 2 booths, hopefully. And if we do, we're going to do it a little differently. I'm going to be bringing different types of plants. I kind of figured out what people were more interested in while we were there. So it was our first convention, so it was more of a learning experience than anything, but it went way better than I thought it was. So that is like a really good thing. So I look forward, if you didn't make it to Reefapalooza, make sure you come check us out at Aquatic Experience. I think it's going to be really cool. So Phoenix says, nice sunglasses, thank you. I should just put these on, and that way you could see the light that I have now, the ring light that's on my glasses. I got one of those YouTube one of the YouTube lights to light my face. Although right now I had to turn down the brightness because we could up it a little bit maybe, and that'll make things a bit brighter. Yeah, there we go. So still trying to figure it out, but it looks good. I like it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Our white ribbon / spider plants can go in the water. I only have the roots in water, and mine have bamboo stems and white and green leaves. So yeah, if you're talking about spider plants, which are the frilly leaves that kind of hang over, they're striped usually. They could be kept in moist conditions. You want to keep the foliage above the water, but the roots can be in the water. So yeah. Where can we buy the tanks? Like these specific tanks set up, or just like the tank itself that like you want to do your own scape in? Because we were selling these at the convention, although in hindsight, I should have put up signs saying that they were for sale. But it just kind of crept up on us, and I was just so strapped for time that I didn't even have a chance to print out anything. So, in Aquatic Experience, we'll be selling all the tanks again, and hopefully somebody will buy them. The beard is a second pillow, that it is. Hello, Genji. I got some plants from you 5 days ago. Juncus repens and dwarf sedge, and is doing great new growth on both species. Nice, Katie. I'm glad to hear. Did you get to go to Joey's speech? If so, was it good? So I didn't get to go because that was Saturday, and his speech was I think at 2:30, and like I said, we were swamped all the way up until like 3 or 4 o'clock. So I literally could not move from the booth. Like I didn't eat lunch. I didn't like go to the bathroom. I did nothing. I was stuck at the booth. We were slammed. Not in a million years would I have thought that we would have been that busy for that amount of time. Like that was crazy. So it was like, you know, I'm all right with that because I come from a retail background. Like I'm used to working in like, I used to work in malls at kiosks selling stuff, primarily cell phones. So like I'm used to like having people nonstop, you know, holiday season nonstop, people coming, you know, walking by us, and we had to talk to them and whatnot. So I was ready for that, you know, as far as that comes. But my other people that were with me don't really have that sales background the way I do. So it was interesting to watch them try and, you know, talk to people, and me, you know, coming from sales, I just it came to me naturally. But it was insane. It was insanely busy. So I didn't get to go to Joey's speech, but I do believe it's the same one that he did at Brooklyn Aquarium Society a couple months back, maybe like I don't know, this past winter I think it was, and whatchamacallit, it was good. If it was the same one, it was good. I could relate to him more. I didn't get to go. Well, hopefully get to go to the Aquatic Experience. It's going to be the same place, Meadowlands. It's October 19th, I think, to the 22nd. It's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be there all 3 days. We got, right now, our booth number is 535, but we may be getting another booth next to it, like I said, so we could have 2 booths. Nelson says that he went to the speech, and it was great. That's awesome. Pantelis, got some nice plants in a good at a good price from you. It was nice to see you. Nice, thank you. Yeah. So we were having a deal while we were there. Buy 4 plants, get 1 free. So it was like a 20% off basically sale, and we had a lot of things just marked like. I think we made everything like $5 or $10 pretty much, other than like a couple rare plants that we brought, like Boos and moss and stuff like that. So everything was like really cheap compared to like what we have it online, just because it was there, like take it and go kind of thing. Plus we wanted to make it easy. It was I didn't want to have to like price everything at the same price as the website, because it would be like, oh yeah, you know, $8 for that, $7 for that. It was just easy. Oh, you got 4 plants, they're $5 each, that's $20. You get a free plant. Boom, there you go. Did I talk to Joey? Yeah, he stopped by the booth. Unfortunately, I had like no time to talk to him. He stopped by, said hi, and then he went about his business. And then Saturday night, I was so tired from the convention that all I wanted to do was go home and sleep. I couldn't even go out and hang out with everybody. dates for the aquatic experience. I just mentioned those, David. But yeah, if you guys, if you're not familiar with the aquatic experience, and you know, I don't know who you watch as far as YouTubers, I have footage from last year that I'm probably gonna make like a promo video for this year, maybe in like the next month or two. But it was really cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than Reefapalooza last year. Of course, this year we were vending, so it was a little bit different. But this year there was an aquascaping contest at, or last year there was an aquascaping contest at Aquatic Experience that Kevin had competed in from Brooklyn Hardscapes using our stuff, which was cool. And just it was nice. There was more freshwater there to kind of look at and experience. So if you didn't go to Reefapalooza, go to the Aquatic Experience. It's gonna be awesome. Even just for a day or so. I would say, you know, I think Sunday and Friday are going to be the slower days, so if you don't like crowds, go on either one of those days, but Saturday, it's going to be packed, so just keep that in mind. And it's the first time it's in New York, so if you're local or within the tri-state area, this is the first time they're hosting it there, and I don't even know what to expect. All I know is Reefapalooza only used, I think it was about half the convention hall. Aquatic Experience is using the whole hall, so that's going to be crazy. I bet your cute daughter helped the crowd gather. A lot of people didn't even know we had her because she was like down under, like not under the table, but like behind one of the tables, so that way you couldn't really see her. And then we wound up like towards the end of the day on Sunday, we had her up on the table just because she, you know, she was like watching everybody. It was funny. And my dog right now is like whimpering under my legs because of thunderstorm and rain, which he does not like. Rescaping my 20L while watching this. Nice, Johnny. 20Ls are nice. 20Ls are really good to scape. Jimmy wants to know, did I make my own stands? No, but they are custom made by my friend. I'm actually trying to get him to allow me to sell them on my website, like him make them and we ship them out to people because they're custom made. And he does them like, this is beautiful craftsmanship the way he did it. Like they're stained, they're sanded, planed, so they look really nice. And a lot of people really like them. So I was telling him we need to turn this into something. Let's see. Recently moved, and my red tiger lotus I got from you and its daughter plants didn't survive. It was one of my favorites. Oh, Katie, that sucks to hear. But do you still have the bulb? Because funny thing is, and this is such a weird thing to admit. So if you haven't seen the video where we set up a tank with Hector, which is Margaret's son, upstairs, he had an old 3-gallon like all-in-one setup. That was her upstairs. And so we transferred all the plants out and put them in the new tank setup, whatever was left in there. But there was a bulb that somehow got left in there, and I still haven't even drained all the water out of the other tank. Like there's still like a little bit of water in there. And sure enough, a tiger lotus sprouted from the bulb that was left in the substrate that I didn't see was in there. And that sprouted new leaves. There's no light on it. It has no running water. Like there's just a little amount of water left in it. And I was like, how the hell did this thing even do? So it was really cool to see that. I might have to make a video about it because it just proves like plants are really resilient, especially bulb plants. Do you have any betas? If so, how many? I might. I can't spoil anything for a future video. Right now, let's just go with no. So you think I don't. Tickets on sale for Aquatic Experience? They are. Go to theaquaticexperience.com and get some tickets. I think they're like $15-20 for a day, or you could buy probably a 3-day pass. I don't know what this is on my laptop. Buy them up. You could stay at the hotel that's nearby. I think it's the Meadowlands Hotel, maybe a Hilton or something. I don't know. But definitely check it out. What's up? Greg Jones is in the house. What's going on, buddy? What kind of tank is that behind you? Well, if you're talking about which tank, this one's the broken one. And then this one behind me right here is a secret, which probably will be revealed within the next week or so. this is difficult. This one right here, we're going to be redoing because a lot of it broke during transport. Luckily, the tank didn't break, but this tank broke. So. Oh, I was wondering if you can trim dwarf sedge. I have done some research and got a lot of conflicting info. So, I would say, so the way you trim it is similar to Val, and a lot of people get this wrong. You can't trim it across, or at least you shouldn't. You should trim off each individual leaf. Now, with that said, if you plant dwarf sedge and you got tons of it growing, and it's well established, and you got leaves that are just getting way too tall, you could just mow them down like a carpet or like a grass, and then it'll regrow. But when the plants are first starting out and they're not fully rooted and established, you don't want to cut them. Like if their leaf is sticking straight up, you don't want to cut them like this. You want to actually cut them down at the base of the plant where the leaf comes out of the root structure. I should have brought up one of the whiteboards. I gotta do that next time. So yeah, so don't trim across if it's new. If it's old plant, well established, there's lots of runners, just you could trim them down. It's going to damage the leaves. Those leaves are going to eventually die off, but new leaves will pop up because it's already an established plant. So you should be all right then. Do you think you'll have Rotala Blood Red and Rotala SP Colorado in the next shipment? So no to the Blood Red, just because that's actually a plant that we have to grow ourselves, and the sample that I had actually died, as far as I know, so I have to try and source that again and regrow it out. We're going to be redoing, now that the convention is over and all this, like, the fish room's pretty much done, roughly, in this room for, you know, videos and whatnot. We're going to be spending a lot more time downstairs. I have space for, I still have to put in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have to put in 4 more 75-gallon tanks downstairs. I have to redo several of the tanks because we're going to be just redoing a bunch of stuff. I have to order lights, filters, all this stuff for the stuff downstairs. And that's just, the 75-gallon tanks are going to help us increase our storage capacity for when we bring in plants. Because it, yeah, we just need more space. And then I'm going to also have space that I have a 33 long in the shed that I want to do something with. But I got to check the seals on it because now that it's been outside during the summer and winter, it may not be alright. So we're going to have to check that out. What else? I think that's it really downstairs. Yeah, we got 4 75 gallons that we need to put in. It's going to be quite a long next couple months. The stands are already down there. I just have to buy everything for it. So. But SP Colorado, Jenny, if you want, message me on Instagram, and I'll have Jake check when we're doing tanks tomorrow. Because honestly, I don't know. Like, I haven't actually gotten into one of the grow out tanks that has that in there in quite some time, because I've been busy with a bunch of other stuff. So, do you have any goldfish? Yes. If you go back through my videos, you'll see a setup of a couple different goldfish videos. Let's see. Yeah, we have 2 goldfish right now. Working on more, maybe. Mr. Miggy says, my Queen Marble sword died off after shipping, and I've been floating the roots, and I'm getting new growth. Any tips to help it thrive? So, Mr. Miggy, did you get that from me? Because we haven't had it in months. But yeah, that plant is actually, so it's incredibly sensitive, especially to shipping. It does not like shipping, and it doesn't like tank fluctuations either. For some reason, it's a very sensitive sword, which is kind of weird because most swords are hardy plants. But when it comes to the Marble Queen sword, we stopped selling it just because it's a sensitive plant and it's just difficult to ship. So it was coming in more often destroyed than it was not, and that just created a big issue. So we stopped selling it. But the plant itself, I've actually, there's like the roots, and then you have the rest of the plant that was above the roots. And I broke off all the top of the plant and just planted back in the roots. And then it sprouted new leaves. So it's an incredibly resilient plant when it comes to that. The fact that it survived through me decapitating it, basically. Like, all that was left was the root ball and the rosette. But all the leaves were gone. So it's a very easy plant to bring back. It just grows very slowly. As far as any tips to help it thrive, root tabs. All swords are heavy root feeders, so if you don't have a nutrient-dense substrate or your substrate is old, definitely put some root tabs in it. And once you plant it, so if it's been floating and it's got roots and new growth, like new leaves, once it has probably about 2 or 3 leaves, it's time to plant it down. Once you plant it, leave it alone. Do not move it. Oh, not for me. Yeah, so that's like we literally haven't had it probably in like 10 months. I think was the last time I had Marble Queen swords in. It just yeah, it's just not a good plant when it comes to shipping. That is, like, it's a beautiful plant, and I love variegated leaves. Like, I don't have the plant in here. Damn it! I have this really nice house plant that I just got. But yeah, so I love variegated leaves, but the that one no good for shipping. I have 1 goldfish, and it's 4 months old, and it's about to be 5. I was lucky that it survived a fish in cycle. Well, goldfish are pretty resilient, hence why they're so invasive, and you really shouldn't release them in the wild when you get them and they outgrow their environment or whatnot, because they can survive in really crappy conditions, literally. And they're just really resilient fish. So I had Lucky, who's downstairs, which we've done a video on. He was left in the car overnight in 90-degree heat, and he was completely fine. Which I didn't even know he was in the car. So if I would have known he was in the car, I would have brought him in. But my fiance Margaret did not tell me that he was in the car. So the goldfish is named Lucky because he luckily survived. BN Cooley says, I got some Rotella Super Red. I can probably spare a few stems if you need. If they're in fact blood red, yes. Super Red, I don't know if that's an interchangeable name. I know them by blood red. But if you can guarantee the ID and I can see some pictures of it, I'll definitely probably take some. I have like a list of plants that I have to regather because I've lost a lot of them. So I'm going to be setting up the new 75-gallon tanks, and those I'm going to be using a lot of the rare sort of stem plants that are hard to find, and hopefully I can get them growing nice and nice. How's the pond doing? Are you talking about the carnivorous pond? It's actually doing pretty good. I'm going to do an update on it soon, but there really hasn't been much changes. I'm just kind of letting it do its thing, grow out a bit, and we'll touch on it when there's something relevant to really discuss. I'm interested in a stand if he ever decides to sell them. Well, thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, if he wants to. I know he just moved to Maine, so he wasn't here in New Jersey, and now he moved, I believe, to Maine, because he is a pastor at a church, so he's doing like some church stuff that I don't really know too much about, but he basically got up and moved to set up a new church, from what I understand, which is cool. I give him props for that, because I probably wouldn't do that. But so he's still setting up and all that stuff. But I told him once he gets his workshop set up, and if he wants to make some extra cash, these are easily disassembled and collapsible, so we could easily package them inside, some medium-sized boxes and ship them, which would be really cool, because we could literally just have people say, okay, I have a tank of this dimensions, and I want you to make the stand. We could have several different models like this one, or there's been some other designs that he's done for me in the past, so, we could custom build it, or he could custom build it and ship them, and, different colors and stains and all that stuff, so I think it would be really cool. Don't count your seals out. My 42-gallon Hex sat in a shed for over 10 years before I was able to set it back up. I live Gulf Coast, Central Louisiana. Oh. Well, that might be... Well, so you're in the warmer climate. So that is a benefit that you have for you, because silicone contracts and... what's the word I'm looking for here? Contracts and stretches when it gets hot and cold. So when it gets cold, it contracts, and that will pull it away from the glass, and when it gets warm, it stretches, and so it could have essentially pulled itself away from the glass, so we're going to have to leak test it before we set it up. But I think that it should last. I don't see why it wouldn't, especially because, like if you think about the tanks, I mean, going in a truck, I can't imagine that the truck is climate controlled in the middle of winter. So if like PetSmart or Petco are getting deliveries of tanks, to me that doesn't make sense. If it may just be like they can't sit out there forever, but I would think that they should be able to tolerate some sort of freezing. What plants that are good for goldfish tanks? Well, Vin, we actually did a video on this. If you go back through our if you go back through our archive, we did top 5 plants for goldfish. You can check that out, and you could check out my setup tank that we did of the goldfish tank that we have downstairs. It shows some good plants. Would you be able to hold on to the SP Colorado? I want to wait till you restock on the other plants to get them all at the same time. Yeah, Jenny, just shoot us a message and or just shoot an email to us and specifically title it Jake. Like put Jake and say, Jake, give me Colorado. And I'm pretty sure he knows exactly where it is, and we'll be able to get it out to you. Yeah, Summer says, I was about to ask the same question. I want to put live plants in my goldfish tank. Yeah, I mean, tons of plants are easy for goldfish. You got Anubis, Java ferns, Bucephalandrid, banana plants. Any sort of lily-like plant or a bulb plant that gets tall or bigger leaves should be completely fine for them. Vowels could work. A lot of plants could work for goldfish. It's mostly stem plants that have the issue with goldfish, because with stem plants, the leaves are small enough to fit in their mouth. So typically what they'll do is they'll go over to a stem, they'll start, just picking at it, and they'll rip off all the leaves. Eventually you'll have a bare stem. The stem plant's not going to like that, and I mean, it may continue to grow upwards, but it'll never sprout new leaves down low. It may sprout side shoots, but so really just stay away from stem plants when it comes to goldfish, but you can use pretty much everything else. I got it from an Aqua Design Amano tissue culture cup. I have the label and I have pics. Also have Rotella Macondra. I'll shoot you some pics. Nice. Life with Pets is here, and she's asking, what's the next convention you're at? That would be the Aquatic Experience. So if you're thinking about coming, you should definitely stop by. It's gonna be awesome. What root tabs are better, API root tabs or Flourish root tabs by Seachem? I use Seachem ones in my Amazon storage. Java Fern and Anubis are growing well. Well, Fish Life, I'm going to definitely plug my own root tabs just because I personally think it's a better product. It's better value, and you get, and it's just better in general. It's a mineralized topsoil mixed with clay and other nutrients that really are designed for plants. You get 25 of them for $10 versus Seachem's, I think you spend $10 for 10 or something like that. And API's, I think, is $6 for 8 or something like that. And you just get a better value. You get twice as much through our root tabs. And people buy them up. I can't keep them in stock usually. They sell out very quickly. Anacris, water sprite, red river floater, duckweed, banana plants could all go with goldfish. Yeah, they all definitely could. Duckweed, though, they will eat a tremendous amount of, and you'll probably be out of duckweed within a week or so, depending on how much you put in there. So, how are you liking the lights on the tanks? Well, this light particular is very good. I really enjoy it. I'm going to try and use it in maybe a more higher demanding setup that, oops, sorry, Walter. A higher demanding setup that requires maybe a bit more light and see what happens. But yeah, it looks really good. It does really well. It's grown all the plants. The Bucephalandrid's got nice colors. The carpeting plant's growing. The Anubis, everything else in this tank is looking really nice. And it was growing all the plants in this tank really good too until I broke it. So, Life with Pets says, I have my own root tabs. They're the ones that they use, and they get amazing results. That is the case. It can get cold, just usually not very cold. It snowed 3 times in 33 years here. Oh, dang. Well, that's a nice problem to have. But then again, you're probably hot as hell down there. It snows like 6 times a year here, maybe more. Like, pretty pretty badly too. I just started my first dry start method. I used the water bottle trick that you did in your dry start method. Did you think it helped a lot or not? Personally, I think it did really well because I didn't have to do anything to it. I literally left the tank alone. I was just checking for mold every couple of days, and we had mold problems on 2 plants within probably the first 2 weeks, and then after that, no issues whatsoever. Actually, springtails, which if you're not familiar with springtails, if you've never seen Serpent Design, he uses them in his He uses them in his terrariums, and they help eat the mold that grows. So springtails actually naturally colonized in that tank before I flooded it. So, and now they're all dead. I did a mass genocide of springtails. So, but yeah, no, the aeration method with the water bottle and the air pump worked fantastic. I didn't have to do anything. That tank has grown out significantly too. I can't even tell you how much that tank has grown out. It is long overdue for some trimming. I have to get down there. I'll probably do an update video because I want to get some trimming videos out too. BN Cooley says, have you heard of Crypt Pink Panther? Is it the same as Pink Flamingo? Not sure. I've never heard of the Pink Panther Crypt. Recon says, you were awesome at Reefapalooza. Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you got some nice plants or stuff from us. But yeah, thank you. I hope to do Aquatic Experience even better, but we'll see. Alright, thanks. I'm going to get some Anubis. They're not that expensive here in the Philippines. Nice, yeah. Anubis are pretty good. It snows 1 to 2 times a year here. Nice. How big of an industry is the fish keeping hobby dollar-wise? I'd probably say it's probably billions, but I've never checked. But it's up there. Like, there is a tremendous amount of money in the hobby. It's just there's I'm trying to think of how, like, what would be similar, because like it's very strange. You have like really budget-minded people that have really simple setups, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then you have these people that go over the top and spend a tremendous amount of money to get results. And I mean, corals alone, corals and saltwater tanks are huge as far as dollar value. So it's got to be up there. Katie's leaving later. Katie, gotta go eat some dinner. Yeah, I gotta finish my rice and beans here in a little bit. Spend about $200 to $500 a month on his hobby or her hobby, fish lifestyle. Yeah, I would. I probably spent about $50 a month when I was fish keeping before I started the business. Now, I mean, whatever I spend on the hobby is to do more business related things. So kind of now is all meshed together. Oh, I could throw out a ridiculous number for last year, but I don't want to. Let's just say last year I looked at when we did our taxes, and I looked at how much money that the company made and how much money the company spent, and I was very sad when I looked at the two numbers put together. I'm like, how in the hell did we spend that much money? And it felt like it was nothing. Like, we advanced so much last year, and we had so much stuff going on that there was just so much money that was just getting spent to do things like, you know, build out the fish room and marketing and all these things. And when you see the numbers on paper, you're like, how in the world did I spend that much money in 12 months? Just made, like, it blew my mind when I saw it. So, yeah. I mean, but that was like, you know, that's business expenses, setting everything up. So it can, you know, bought the laptop. I think I bought the camera too last year too. Yeah. So I bought, you know, $800 laptop, $1,000 camera, you know, 16 fish tanks, desks, equipment, all these things that, you know, just all inside into that expense. It got really expensive. and this year is looking very similar. So I'm hoping the next 6 months are rather good to us. But the convention, Reefapalooza, cost us a lot of money just because it was our first one, and we had nothing to really go with. You know, like I didn't have a banner. I had tables, but I didn't have tablecloths. I didn't have acrylic stands. I didn't have these show tanks to display. So these show tanks were a majority of that, but also all the goods and all that. So it was ridiculous. Ridiculous expense. But my hope is we are going to attend Aquatic Experience. If we do as well as we did at Reefapalooza, then we should almost be at a net, like, I guess a net zero. Like, we're not going to lose any more money, but we won't be positive, so we'll break even. And then hopefully we'll attend Reefapalooza next year in New York, which I think they're already taking reservations for. So I'm going to probably lock down our same booth and possibly see about getting a bigger one. And if that goes well, then we'll be in the positive because, you know, buying all the stuff to do a convention is very costly. And I didn't even do everything that I wanted to, so it could have even got more costly, but I kind of put my foot down when I was like, all right, I got all the basics. I don't need to buy anything more. Let's just stick with what we have. Let's see what happens. Because I honestly didn't think that Reefapalooza was going to be as busy as it was, because last year I was at a competitor's of mine's booth. I wasn't vending. He was. And the way he had it set up, I didn't think he was doing that many sales. Like, I wasn't paying attention to his booth all that much because he was also doing an aquascaping contest. But, like, you know, out the corner of my eye, I'd be looking at their area to see, like, what they were doing because, you know, I was taking notes for this year for myself. And I don't remember it being that busy, where, like, this year for me, I had a line out the door. So, I don't know, it could have been positions because we were in opposite corners of the, like, he's in the far back and I'm up front. So, it could have been completely different. I mean, it could have also been he wasn't here this year, so I was there and, you know, I got the majority of the sales. So, could have been a lot of things, but I really did not think it was going to do that well because it was a saltwater convention. Well, I know everybody does have, you know, a lot of people that have saltwater may have a freshwater tank, or, you know, the adults have a lot. I ran into this. A lot of the adults had saltwater, but a lot of the kids that they brought with them had freshwater, which made sense to me because kids, unless they're very into it, they may not get the chemistry of a saltwater tank, so because it's a bit difficult. So they may have the freshwater side, and the parents have the saltwater side because, you know, us big kids like our big toys. So it was just really interesting. It definitely was like a learning experience by far, but it was really fun at the same time. So I definitely intend to do it next year also. It's still, with it even being a reefing convention, it was still just a lot of fun. But I definitely want to go bigger next year. Definitely. Because we had people, at least Margaret was telling me, we had people that were walking away from the booth because it was so packed that people couldn't get in to see. And they were like, oh, let's just, you know, let's go. They're too busy kind of thing. So I was like, damn, really? We lost out. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any questions on Brazil information guppies? I don't know what that is. They have some things on Instagram. What else was at Reefapalooza? There's a couple that, there was one thing that inspired me at Reefapalooza. That's what we're going to be doing with this tank. I saw some saltwater setups with some things, and I'm like, I want to do that. And after doing more research, I learned that it can be done with freshwater also. So I'm going to be using some aspects of the saltwater side of the hobby in the freshwater side, and making a really cool tank with this tank over here. So I'm super excited about that. I already ordered everything and should be here this week, so it's gonna be really cool. And then yeah, it was so chaotic and busy, and like last year I was busting everybody's chops about how Saturday night nobody wanted to go out afterwards. I'm like, come on guys, like, you were just at your booths all day. You didn't really, you know, it wasn't really that crazy. And then, like, I was looking at myself this year, and I'm like, no, now I understand why. I didn't want to do anything after Saturday. I just was like, I want to go home and I want to relax and go to bed. That's exactly what we did. Because it was that chaotic. So it looks like we have about a minute 30 seconds left on Instagram. If you're watching us on Instagram, you can head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/H2O Plants, and check us out there. I don't like saltwater tanks. They are very hard to maintain with chemistry. I think that's anything, like with any tank though. Like, I mean, saltwater may be a little bit harder, but some freshwater fish tanks can be difficult. But really, once you get into the planted side of things, plants really just help out. So you should come to Monster Fish Bash in Florida. I might. Oh, that's the other thing too. I'm speaking in September. I'm speaking at the Brooklyn Aquarium Society, so I think it would be really cool. If you are local to Brooklyn, want to come out and see me speak, go to the Brooklyn Aquarium Society. But see, I'd go to Florida for it, but like, I wouldn't be able to vend or anything. I'd just have to like attend and film and, you know, buy stuff probably. See if I could take it back with me on the plane. You should come, or no. Do you have any dirted tanks? What do you think about using dirt? I personally don't have any dirted tanks. I've been thinking about testing them out, but they just make so much mess, and I like to move things around a lot, so I don't think it's practical for me. Are you strictly freshwater? At the moment, yes. I do have a big lust for corals at the moment. I want to grow corals. I want to set up a little saltwater tank. I was actually thinking about setting one of these up as a saltwater tank. But right now it's just not practical. If we ever move out of here, if we ever get out of here, I may change that and do a saltwater tank. Maybe grow some corals, see what happens. But as of right now, only freshwater, just because I'm limited on room. I don't have room. Only hard as you make it. That is right. What do you want? Can they see you? I don't think they can see you. My dog is right here. He's scared because of the lightning. Howdy, what's up, Brittany? How's it going? I keep love plants, so it's live plants, so it's very easy with my freshwater tanks. Every single time, whenever, I swear I don't yawn that much, and when I'm live streaming, I always yawn. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm sitting down. This has been an ongoing problem with myself, because I find when I'm like driving and it's nighttime, because I'm used to being active now at night. For the last 2 years roughly, I've been very, very active at night. You know, doing tank setups and all that. Now I find myself when it's dark out and I'm sitting down, I just want to go to sleep. So if I'm driving, like if I'm not doing anything, so yeah. It'd be cool to see you there. They got crazy stuff. I'd be down to go. It's a difficult trip to Florida just for a fish convention. If there's business to be had, though, might be a possibility. Sell the house, move to MA. Oh, see, I'd love to move to somewhere, especially because you have a particular plant that is very legal in that state, I think, right? Yeah, it's legal to grow there, I think. So, not that I do that particular plant, but I look at the business possibilities with that plant. Have you tried a Thundershirt for him? I did. He does not like it. I have these things that I got, but he doesn't want to eat them. They're little treats that have like supposedly they're natural calming ingredients that help calm him down, but he doesn't want to eat them when it starts. So I tried feeding him before it started, but it was a little too late. He's already freaking out. So you seem so tired. I'm just, you know what it is, when I'm like just sitting down, I get that tiredness over me. Like the moment I get up, I'll be like ready to go, but I'm just I hate it. I think I should just live stream standing up. It'd probably be much better. Probably wouldn't get tired. Have you tried the fluorite sand yet? What do you think about it, if so? I used fluorite black. It's not the sand. I think the sand's a little too fine. I got the regular black fluorite, and it works pretty good. I have no complaints. Yes, legal to grow, non-aquatic plant. Wink, wink. Point taken. Yeah. Listen, I'm all about that plant because there's a lot of money to be made on it. But I'm not touching anything until it's legal. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's funny. I know a lot of people that have tried that, and I've never once had the urge to. I've been around it my whole life though, but I've just never had that urge. So I just thought it was what? I just thought it was interesting. The more it becomes legal, and the higher the price point is for some of it. So I was like, oh, that's really good deal right there. So there's this one saltwater plant people kept asking me for, something that started with a C. I'm gonna probably, I don't even know, it was like CA something. They kept asking me for it. I think it's a type of macroalgae. Starts with a C. And like, they were like, you got this? I'm like, no. Cheetomorphia, maybe? I don't know. Or am I saying that wrong? I might be saying that wrong. But I think that's what it was. Oh. Calliopa. That actually sounds like it might be it. Your email is... No, that's not the right email. Yeah, I think that... Yeah, Calliopecia. That sounds about right. Can that grow in freshwater, or is that strictly saltwater? Calliopecia. Yeah, I gotta look into this. I think this is what everybody was asking for. I had like 5 people ask me, hey, you have this? I'm like, oh no. And then a bunch of people were asking me for mangroves. I'm like, I don't have those. I'm all freshwater, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Cheeto. Yeah. Something like that. That's what they're asking for. It's like, well, maybe next time. Next time I'll bring some of it. It's actually considering setting up like a little saltwater setup to bring next time. What? What's wrong with you? Why are you such a baby? Why are you such a big baby? There was this one really cool setup with mangroves that was there, where they just had like this blank tank with just a big mangrove tree sitting in it. What is the email? It should be support@h2oplants.com, our email. But yeah, so they had this this mangrove tree that was just in this like shallow tank. It looked so cool. I was like, oh, that's really awesome. I want that. It was like, I've never seen them in person, and then finally seeing it, I was like, oh, it's so cool. So cool. What you want, Dougie? What? Oh, and if anybody follows us on Instagram, you'll know a couple weeks back I rescued a cat. Or I didn't rescue it. I caught it, trapped it because it was outside, and it had like this nasty infection on its side. Not really an infection. It was a ringworm. That's what it turned out to be. So we got it. We took it to the vet. Vet did all the test works on it, and we've been housing it for the last month. and well, I treat the ringworm and whatnot. But the problem is the kitty came back for feline AIDS, pretty much. And because we have another cat in the house, we couldn't keep it because if it ever claws or bites the other cat, it would infect it, and we don't want that. So Jake last night, Jake and Jake's girlfriend, which are Jake works for me, they took the cat because they wanted it and whatnot. And it was mad cute. It was like running around. And then, like, I picked it up to put it in its thing, and it, like, looked at me, and it gave me that look like, thank you for rescuing me, or at least that's what I want to think of it as. Because she was, like, a small kitten, almost. Like, she's not, like, a baby, but she's not a full adult cat yet. And, it was weird because I didn't see her at my job, if that's where I got her from, my job. I didn't see her around my work last year, so I knew that she was, like, a newly born kitten, which now I almost want to try and find the mother so that way we could get her fixed or whatnot. But yeah, so she was super friendly. I was able to pick her up when I trapped her. I was like, literally, I just put out a can of food. She came right up to me. I picked her up and I stuck her in the cat carrier. She didn't even fight me, but it was sad. I was like, oh, because I was like, I want to keep the cat, but I can't because the other cat. But that was my good deed. My good deed for the month. Took your collar off. Took your collar off. Alright, so yeah, so we're about at the end of the show, looks like here. Doesn't look like we have any pending questions. We will be back in 2 weeks with another live stream. Although, maybe because it's July 4th, I'm going to have off. Maybe I'll do one on July 4th. We'll see. Might do a random live stream then. But, if you guys, need any plants, make sure you visit the website. And, I'll see you on the next video, which should be out hopefully tomorrow if I can edit it tonight. That's what I'm going to do. And, yeah. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your week. Don't break any tanks. And that's about it. Later.